Do thought leaders need a mission statement? In my previous video, I shared 3 examples of mission statements from content creators. In this video, we're looking at mission statements for thought leaders, which begs the question, what's the difference between a content creator and a thought leader? First, to be a thought leader, you need to be a content creator in some form. You need to document and share your ideas. And that might be through books or papers or articles, blog posts, presentations. In this way, thought leaders are just like content creators. Second, a thought leader is seen as the go-to person in an industry or a niche. Not all content creators are the go-to person, so that's a way that thought leaders are different to content creators. So what does this mean about their mission statements, and do they even need one? To answer this question, I did some research. I made a list of 25 people I consider to be thought leaders. I started with the 7 people who were the examples in my previous video on thought leadership. Then I went through some of the authors of the books that I've read over the last couple of years. Then I Googled examples of thought leaders to add the remaining people to my list. This made a total of 25 people, 13 men and 12 women. Some you might have heard of, some you might not have. Then I Googled each person on the list to look for 2 things. The first was, do they have a mission statement? And the second one was, how did they create their mission statement? What format is it in? But what I found surprised me. In the previous video, when I searched for content creators, I found 8 out of 21 had a mission statement. I expected something similar. For my list of thought leaders, I found a handful of examples of mission statements where these people were running businesses. For instance, Gary Vaynerchuk talked about his for VaynerMedia informally in this video.
Help clients, whether they're an NGO, nonprofit, or selling bottled water, help them sell stuff, communicate at the best possible price in the best possible channels to reach the biggest possible audience to create that business result.
Brene Brown had a belonging statement for her business, and Morag Barrett had a list of values, but not a mission statement. The closest thing I found to a personal mission statement was from Jean Bliss. She had a purpose statement, which is similar to a mission statement, but also a little bit different. So if almost none of the thought leaders had a mission statement, and yes, 25 people is a fairly small sample, but this kind of suggests that thought leaders don't need mission statements to be successful. Well, I didn't see that coming before I started researching this video. This forced me to ask the question, what role or purpose does a mission statement play? And why would someone need one? I think there are 3 things that a mission statement can provide. First, it inspires you. It's the thing that drives you to get out of bed in the morning and jump into your day. And 2, it gives you focus and helps you stay on track consistently over time. And if you want to be a thought leader, then you need to be consistent over time to build up a body of work. And number 3, it reminds you of the action you need to take. This might be as general as it's a personal exploration, or as specific as we want to help these people in this way. So if thought leaders don't use mission statements, what do they use to inspire themselves, stay on track, and take the right action? The good news is, while I didn't find any mission statements, I did find something else that might be valuable for content creators and want to be thought leaders. Newport, for instance, said, I write about the intersection of digital technology and culture. I'm particularly interested in our struggle to deploy these tools in ways that support instead of subvert the things we care about in both our personal and professional lives. Laura Goodrich is an expert on transformation and the future of work. On her website, it says the 3 things we care about the most are future-focused thinking, transforming amidst turbulent times, and understanding the trends of change. But the wording I loved the most was on a site about Australian thought leader Stan Grant. Well, Stan doesn't have his own website. He is featured on the website of the Australian National University because he has published a book through them. On this site, it says his preoccupations are Aboriginal identity and colonial history. I love that. Preoccupations. Let's look at the definition of that word, preoccupy. It means a subject that dominates or engrosses the mind to the exclusion of other thoughts. For me, that fits exactly with how you become a thought leader. You are preoccupied by something at the exclusion of other things, such that you explore it in such detail that you become the expert in that area. Instead of asking, what's your mission? A thought leader is better to ask the question, what are you preoccupied by? And just as a curious aside, I found this also. So Google's Ngram viewer tells you the number of times a word is used in books over time. And in this case, the word preoccupy has been used 4 times more often in the last 20 years than 100 years ago. I'm not sure why, but I'm guessing it's not to become a thought leader. But I could be wrong. My research has now found 2 crucial things. Firstly, thought leaders don't use mission statements. Their business might, but personally, no. And second, instead of a mission statement, they have a preoccupation. Something that captures their attention and then they spend a lot of time focusing on. So, how can we use this? How can you frame up your preoccupation so it serves the role of a mission statement to help you be inspired, help you stay on track, and help you step into action? The obvious place to start is to go back to the websites of the people that I reviewed and see what that says about their preoccupations. Here's what I found. Let's start with Cal Newport. He simply says, I write about this. I write about the intersection of digital technology and culture. Then he adds something very interesting. I'm particularly interested in our struggle to deploy these tools in ways that support, instead of subvert, the things we care about in both our personal and professional lives. So he doesn't just talk about, oh yeah, I write about this. He talks about the inherent struggle. And he doesn't write about it to give a definitive answer. He writes about it to explore it. And I bet this, as his statement says, is for his personal benefit in his own career, but also for the benefit of others. And clearly with the massive audience that he has online, a lot of people are experiencing the same struggle. So the question for you is, what's the thing you struggle with? Or that you see other people struggling with? For me, my ongoing career struggle is, how do you earn money from your ideas? And I know that, particularly through my clients, a lot of other people are interested in this as well. Laura Goodrich says it differently. She simply says, these are the 3 things we care about. In particular, on her website, she says, the 3 things we care about the most. So your question is, what do you care about? Our third example is not one of the 25 thought leaders, but it is a place where a lot of thought leaders hang out. It's TED. And TED stands for Technology, Entertainment and Design. And that's a pretty wide-ranging topic. For Daniel Pink, it's 4 things. It's business, work, creativity and behaviour. For Rahaf Hafus, it's leadership, emerging technologies and digital culture. And for me, a really great way to show this is through 3 overlapping circles. I like this because it recognises the overlap or the intersection between these 3 elements, and that is where the most interesting ideas will occur. Also, this simple process of picking 3 things provides lots of variation. For instance, I'll bet if the 25 thought leaders on my list put down their 3 things, they would all be completely different. So if you want a really simple way to define your preoccupation, answer this question. What are the 3 things you're interested in? Well, there you have it. That was definitely a surprise result to me. I went looking for mission statements from thought leaders, and when I didn't find that, I actually found something that I think was way more interesting. I found that instead of a mission, they define themselves by what they focus on a lot of the time. And their examples give you 3 ways to define your preoccupation or area of study or exploration. What is your struggle? What do you care about? And what are the 3 things you're interested in? I'd love to hear what you think about this. Add a comment down below and let me know. The research for this video has really shaken up my thinking. I had been planning to create a mission statement for myself, but I'm not going to do that now. And in our next video, I'll take this a step further and I'll share my explorations about how to use the 3 types of preoccupation for myself and my business. And most importantly, I'll tell you what this means about what I'm going to create next. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!